As shown in the famous Monet's work Impression, Sunrise of 1872, the work of Impressionist Monet pursued the impression of light consistently, and as the result, the shapes of objects disappeared, and only fluid light was left there. In contrast, Cézanne tried to fix the Impressionist's landscape floating together with the wave of light. What Cézanne wanted to grasp was not the momentary impression of nature, but the existence of nature itself. Thus, Cézanne tried to compose colors and shapes, and organize them architecturally in order to fix the flux and transition of the light. All things in nature are moving. Nature does not stop becoming and changing. It is true that painting is forced to fix the things that don't stop moving, in order to look at them, but it was Cézanne who did this most strictly. He tried to reduce the dynamic to the static and to express the truth of things by the static. Therefore, in Cézanne's work, not only scenery and still life, but also person is equally expressed as the static visual image. Cézanne chose only one image among the infinite changes of nature and tried to condense the entire nature into it. In such a way, he tried to catch the essence of things as well as the life of things. There was a deep sensibility of this artist who forgot all the other things and devoted himself to look at the nature directly. On the other hand, Van Gogh was also influenced by the Impressionists and tried to overcome Impressionism as well as Cézanne, but in contrast to Cézanne, he tried to paint the dynamic in the static, and to paint the dynamic dynamically. Van Gogh's painting is dynamic and passionate, and the burning of life itself is painted there. Van Gogh, painter of light and color, began to paint like possessed by something, especially after Arles' period. As the Sower of 1888 shows, he painted the scorching sun, golden wheat, cypress and sunflower as if he ate the nature up. The Road with Cypress and Star of 1890, painted with swirling touches, also reminds us of the swirl pattern of the Neolithic and Celtic era in Europe. The nature that Van Gogh painted is always wriggling and gasping, and even when he painted the field, the earth, the moon and the star, it seems as if they were always being pulled into the vortex of the universe. The flames and whirlpools Van Gogh's painted are the violent symbol of life. Van Gogh tried to paint it as a vortex of colors straightly, and for that purpose, he liked to use pure strong colors, especially yellow. Van Gogh's yellow tone expresses the swirling life. Van Gogh's solitude's short lifetime, which had no other choice but to escape for madness and suicide, was a continuation of distress and anxiety, but what Van Gogh continued to pursue and desire to express through struggle with them, was the burning of life, the trust in the earth and the thirst for the infinite. At the end of the 19th century, when the trust in nature's vitality had been lost, what Van Gogh desired was the peace of life and its salvation. It is also expressed in Bedroom in Arles, painted with vivid colors in 1888. Art is the expression of the reality of things and the expression of the life of things. All things change and do not stay at the same place. It is the becoming, the transiting, and the flux. The painting tries to express it by points, lines, planes, and colors. The point on painting is the point with spread, and the line is also the line as action and filled with life. The planes and the colors are also the self-expressions of the life. Art is to project the life into the temporal and spatial composition. In order to express the reality of things or the life of things, there are two ways, namely, the abstract symbolic expression and the lively passionate expression, just like man's bone and body. While the abstract symbolic way expresses rather the dynamic in the static, the lively passionate expression expresses the static in the dynamic. Cézanne is rather true of the former and Van Gogh is of the latter, but there is no difference between them in their efforts to express the life itself. Indeed, things pass away without stopping still for a moment. In order to express the life of things, it is necessary to choose a moment passing away. Just before that moment, every combination of things was not in the current state, and similarly, after that moment has passed, every combination will have changed. Painting is a spatial art, and generally it is based on the denial of time. Painting catches a moment. It catches a moment of movement and change. From the attempt to express what is eternal in this moment, two different ways towards the end are derived, either static or dynamic. And, by these two expressive ways being interwoven, the fruitful history of painting has been developed.